Okay, folks, we know how important and how unfun these things can be, but they're needed for survival. Um, and yeah, they're very commonplace in this day and age. Let's see if we can make this one look good. This one was left behind by a visitor, so I thought I'd make use of it. I washed it and it's ready to use in one of my demos. So she lost it, she couldn't find it, and just not long after she left, I found it. So they're very important in the workplace, in public. We all have to wear them, unfortunately, however uncomfortable and unbreathable they are. Okay, let's see what this piece of horrible stuff is. This is a colourful one, folks. Anyway, it is a COVID face mask, and this one's a real colourful one. She left it behind, I washed it, and I'm going to wash it again because this photocopier gets a lot of dirty objects, but she'll have it back. I'll give it back to her. I'm not going to keep it for myself. But it's her mask, and she had it nice and lovingly made by, I think, a friend or something. She told me put this one together, so it's a really nice, very colourful piece of COVID PPE. But basically, yeah, it's a really nice mask, and I just had to do this, folks. Yeah, that looks really quite colourful. I think it might need to be angled more and maybe a bit smaller, but it looks nice so far. It is a nice, a very nice design that she's had made for her. A very lovely pattern. I don't know how this is going to look. But the good thing is the vaccination is still happening apparently here in Sydney, Australia, and in New South Wales. We're getting closer and closer to that 90% fully vaccinated rate, and that is to me, that's really good news. I'm really happy to see that people are taking the trouble to roll up their sleeves and get the jab, and hopefully maybe these face masks might be a thing of the past. It would be nice if we didn't have to wear these things, but we can't. We still have to wear them though, folks. However much we still hate them and they fuck up our ability to breathe easily, I'm just wondering maybe if I have to still make it a movement, move it in a different position, maybe that way. But basically, we still have to wear these horrible things. But to try and make them nice and colourful and pretty, it makes it a little bit nicer to wear, I suppose. I just wear a plain one. I don't have any fancy ones. You could say a mask is a mask. They're not fun. That just because they're pretty doesn't mean it's going to make you feel super duper about wearing them. Now we've just got the edge of it there. This is not an easy pattern to photocopy. I do wonder maybe if I might have a corner piece to it. So I might have a little bit just out there. I don't know how that's going to make it look. And maybe, I don't know. I want to make this a real good piece because so if she visits my YouTube channel, hopefully she'll get to see what I've done with her mask. That looks shit house, I do think. I do think maybe maybe I don't know what to do with this one, folks. Maybe I could turn it upside down and maybe get, I don't know which side is going to look the best with this, folks. This is, I think, the top. I think she normally wears that at the top. But basically, yeah, it's a very important piece of equipment that everyone has to wear, even though it's really horrible in this heat. Oh, you don't have to wear them outside anymore, folks. At least that's a good thing. But you have to wear them indoors. You have except at work. You have to wear them on public transport, buses and all that. And this one's got a crinkle. Unfortunately, we've got a crease in it. But basically, yeah, it's really unpleasant to wear them in the hot weather. I do wear mine outside, incidentally, folks. I do want to make sure I don't even catch a cold or a flu, which could mean that I might have to get tested for COVID, and that's a real pain in the ass. This is a really difficult one, folks. I had a feeling it would be a little bit difficult. And we've missed out some of the nice part, and we've got this crinkled bit. That looks really quite nice. I don't know what to make of it, folks. I don't know where the creasing is, if it's up there. I think it's up there. So I'm just going to move it up, and I'm just going to try and flatten it out as much as I can. So just try that again. The enlargement only goes up to 400. You've got to take that into consideration, folks. Yeah, that looks better. We still have a little bit at the edge there and a little bit there. Again, it's not looking as much as I'd like it to. Wondering where the centre of the job is going to be. I think it's going to be up there. Trying to see what we can do with this piece of PPE. So we're just thinking we're going to have to do another adjustment. So just going to tilt it further, maybe that way. But yeah, these are, you could say face masks are like a sign of the times, that we all have to fucking wear them and stay safe, better than catching COVID, folks, I must say. However much I hate to wear them, I do think maybe I'm not getting it looking too crash. It's not looking as good as I'd like it to. Trying to work out intuitively how to do this. It's probably not going to look as good as I'd like it to. It really isn't something that's really easy to demonstrate with or demo, but it demonstrates the difficulty that this art form has. That this is not an easy art form, that photocopier art, despite the apparent sense of it's anyone can do it, it's not always like that. In fact, most of the time it takes skill and intuition as much as picking up a paintbrush or a pencil or charcoal has with normal type forms of traditional art. So traditional art is often given more merit than this, but this is hard. You know, this is really difficult to know how far to push it. And then I put pressure on myself by going on camera and doing it. So photocopier art, just because it's done with a machine, doesn't make it any easier. Maybe in some ways it does. It can take days or even weeks, I guess, to paint an oil painting, but still this is not easy. And I don't always come off with a piece of work that I'm proud of to demo, to show. Anyway, that looks really quite nice. I do think maybe we could do a switcheroo with this for something different. We took all the trouble to do this, so now we're just going to try another version of this. But basically, just because you use a machine doesn't make it any less art. It depends on how you do it, I guess, but I'm trying to make a pretty picture. I'm not just doing it just to press the button and say, aha, easy, you know, like conceptual art or whatever. I'm trying to make this look aesthetically pleasing. And I do think this has turned out better than I imagined. And this is better than the first version, so I'm glad. I think now we can proudly call this mask demo over.